Hi and welcome. My name is Daniel Warren Hill with Alchemical Records, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Steve Raskin of Fort Knox Five, the recipient of the 2022 Wammie Award for Best Electronic Techno Artist or Group. Welcome, Steve, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having us too.
Yeah, absolutely a pleasure. We've been doing some stuff for the last couple of years. It's great to finally get a chance to catch up with you.
I know it's fantastic, and congrats to you as well. I know you got an award yourself.
Thank you.
Always nice to be celebrated in DC.
It is. I was going to ask. I mean, this is not your first time winning a Wammie Award, and not your first time winning the best like techno artist or electronic artist group. You also won in 2020. How does it feel to win again, and how does it feel for you to be recognized?
Amazing. Really, really amazing. Especially uh, as part of the DC music scene and having been a part of it for such a long time. It's great to still be relevant, not even feel relevant, to be relevant. There's so much good music that goes on in DC, and especially in the electronic scene. So for us to have won the award multiple times, it's a real great honor.
I know that you'd recently released a new single, "Start the Ride,"
Yeah.
and that was a collaboration you did with Lazy Syrup Orchestra. What can you tell us about the collaboration and the song?
So in the last couple of years, it's been really interesting. I am actually living in British Columbia right now, and we split our time between DC and BC. So for the last couple of years, I kind of had an idea of doing this project of tying the two scenes together, DC and BC. And so I started on this project a couple of years ago with a collaboration with my friend Caleb, who's actually from New Zealand but lives in Vancouver. And then we followed that up with another collaboration with another Vancouver-based vocalist. And then we did a collaboration with Slink. And then finally, this collaboration with Lazy Syrup Orchestra. So this is actually the fourth installment of this sort of concept series. And for me, it's been really fun because I toured a lot in British Columbia and in Canada in general before, while we were sort of our initial releases and everything, and the Fort Knox Five and the DC music scene left a mark on the community here, and I could see it as it grew, and all these artists who sort of came up listening to or coming to the Fort Knox Five shows, they're now making music. And a lot of the people who I've met along the way from New Zealand, Australia, people have ended up here. So there's a real nice community of funk and electronic influenced artists. And my concept was really just to bring it all together. And so the latest one is with a group called Lazy Syrup Orchestra, who it's a side project of the Funk Hunters, who have been making waves here for a while. And they do live instrumentation just like we do, and I think that's sort of what gravitates me towards working with these different artists, finding like-minded people to sort of share this idea of the future of electronic and funk. A lot of live instrumentation and basically making fun music. So that brings us to that release, and yeah, it's been really fun. It's really great to see the DC scene as it affects people from around the world too.
Thank you for spreading the gospel of the DC music scene out there in BC.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's my duty, to keep the funk alive.
Well, you just rattled off like a huge list of collaborations and projects. What are some projects that you and other Fort Knox Five members are currently a part of? I know that you have multiple interests and escapes, if you will.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's always really interesting trying to line things up, especially with Rob, who's plays guitar and sitar with Thievery Corporation and tours with them constantly. So we've been doing a cross-continental collaboration and inspiration thing, trying to nail that down as as our schedules work out. I'm right now we have a couple new ones brewing. And a bunch of remixes of these initial tracks of the DC to BC compilation stuff that are coming out and are going to be coming in the next couple months. One of the things that we always did from the get-go of Fort Knox Five was the idea of the remix as another potential collaboration. There's so many great artists out there, and to get somebody to take apart the pieces of a song that you've written and then create something new out of it is very exciting to me and breathes life into a lot of these kind of songs. So as we're writing these new songs and pushing forward the future of DC electronic funk, we're also reaching out to collaborate and get these remixes done. So I would say look out for some exciting new remixes coming through from us doing other people and other people doing us.
I was going to say you have a history of kind of doing a little bit of both. What's the difference for you, like in as far as the experience between when you're remixing for somebody else or when you're giving somebody the liberty to remix your own work?
I tell you, it's really funny because when we started off too, we were doing a lot of these sort of like remix in trade. So we would do one for somebody else and someone would do some for us. And it was always fun for me personally to try to, you hear a song that you're like, oh my God, this is a great song. Well, how do you put your mark on it? What is it that imbibes your particular flavor on it? And for us, it was always the live instrumentation and live musicianship, and especially being in the DC scene, so many other groups, impresarios with to bring in some Latin flavor, and Mustafa, who's sadly not with us anymore, with his R&B and soul, and a lot of times the remix of other people was a way for us to sort of create, like I was sort of saying, put our mark on it and create something new. I mean, and that's whether we were doing like a Louis Armstrong remix or Bob Marley, and that stuff was really fun because in those type of circumstances, it was almost like, what would you do if you were performing with somebody else? So we would just sort of strip out everything, and we would be the house band for Louis Armstrong or Bob Marley or whatever it is. So that's super fun. But I'll tell you, as a DJ performer now, I tour mostly doing DJ sets, and having other people interpret my music really is exhilarating for me, because a lot of times, I don't know if you find this like with other people, that by the time the music actually comes out, you've listened to it a million times. It's gone over everything. And sometimes it's hard to even appreciate what you've done. And a lot of times these remixes that other people are doing of our music really breathe that sort of like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's really good. And I like what they've done to it, and I can play it in a different type of set than I would in my own. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of both, and I think that's what kind of keeps this sort of conversation alive too, which is making music that is fun, that I want to perform, then DJ, and then with the idea that someone else is going to then reinterpret it, and it just kind of keeps going. And even to this day, it's not just the new material that we're doing. I'll have people hit me up and be like, hey, can you send the stems to something that we put out, a decade ago? Because they had been playing it and they want to put their mark on top of it too. And that's all very exciting. It's all music, right?
Yeah, that must be exhilarating to have these bodies of work that continue to evolve.
Yeah, it's something that I know that we're very proud of, and that the fact that it's, we've been doing this for quite a while now, and things come and things go, and definitely genres of music come and go, and the fact that we're still relevant and getting accolades for our brand of electronic funky music is really amazing.
Well, thank you so much for giving us so much of the inside scoop about what you have going on, and congratulations again on your 2022 Wammie win for Best Electronic Techno Artist or Group. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Thanks so much.